Welcome back, guys. We got the Beatles, Don't Let Me Down, Rooftop performance, and we're hoping that this one doesn't get blocked because a lot of our Beatles videos, unfortunately, get blocked.
Yeah.
So our fingers are crossed. And if there's any video overlay on this one, because we're going to have a video of them performing on the rooftop here. If there's a video overlay, we apologize.
Yeah.
Not our doing.
We don't ever do that unless we absolutely have to.
Exactly. We don't make any money off any Beatles videos. So we just hope that we can get them up on the channel.
Yeah.
And we'd love to check out more. So if you have recommendations on ones that people don't have any problems with, I don't know if it's specific licensing, certain licensing groups allow them to use it, but other ones don't. I don't know, but this is a significant performance. Why is it so significant, Sam?
Because it's on the rooftop.
And also, it was in 1969 when they were having some issues in the band, and it ended up being their last public performance.
Yeah.
So very, very significant moment in history.
I just think it's cool because it's on a rooftop.
Yes. But we want to add the significance of it being the last time that the Beatles are publicly
Yeah, and I think
performing.
in the information that we were reading, this was also part of a documentary that they were filming at the
Let
time
It Be,
as well.
Yeah. So I think I've seen a parts of Let It Be. I don't remember seeing this performance at all. Don't Let Me Down. I am familiar with the song, but I've never seen this performance before. But I don't think you are familiar with Don't Let Me Down.
It doesn't sound familiar, and if you guys haven't seen any of our other Beatles videos, Phil has more familiarity with it because his dad was a big fan, and growing up, his dad was in a band and would play Beatles songs, whereas I had no background. My parents were never into the Beatles, so.
Yes. So our journey with the Beatles has been introducing Sam largely to new Beatles songs, and you've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it's been awesome. The creativity and diversity in their music is really cool. And, you always hear how renowned and legendary the Beatles are, right? And until I think you actually sit down and really take it in, you're kind of just yeah, whatever. But when you actually listen to it, you're like, okay, I understand why now.
They're just so unique, right? Mm-hmm. There's nobody like the Beatles.
No.
There's nobody that has replicated them, and there's nobody that came before them and did it quite like they did on so many different levels, right? Anyways, let's get beyond this intro. Just remember, hit that like button if you enjoy the video, guys. We appreciate all your support on the channel. Wouldn't be where we are today without you. So thank you.
True.
Let's check out the Beatles, Don't Let Me Down on the Rooftop. Quite the rooftop.
Don't let me down.
Loving these jackets.
Don't let me down. Nobody ever loved me like she does. Oh, she does. Yes, she does. And if somebody loved me like she does, she does. Yes, she does. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. I'm in love for the first time. Don't you know it's gonna last? It's a love that lasts forever. It's a love that has no past.
Sheesh.
Don't let me down. Don't let me down.
So much going on here. First of all, it's just so amazing for the Beatles what they do when they get choruses to stand out so much. Mm-hmm. It's just like another level that they bring it up on the song, and it's just like, I'm not going to forget that part of the song. No way.
Well, it's funny because I was about to say that you asked me before we did this song if I knew this song, and I definitely don't recognize it in its entirety, but I do recognize the chorus. And I think that might be from it just playing in the background when we've been at your parents' house, right? But I wasn't consciously like listening and taking it in. It's just the chorus just subconsciously stuck in my head, right? So now as it's playing, I'm like, hey, no, this does sound familiar. But when he gets into the parts after the chorus, right, like the verses, I'm like, hey, no, I don't know this part.
Yeah. And I mean, nobody really talks about how prominent the Beatles are in terms of love songs. So many of their songs are really beautiful love songs that they've made, and professing love. I mean, I guess that's resemblance of the 60s and the 70s and the culture, as a whole. But when you think about love songs, a lot of
Peace
times,
and love.
Yeah, but when you think about love songs, a lot of time you think of like soul and R&B and stuff like that, right? But the Beatles, so many of their hits are great love songs, and I never really thought about that personally. Anyways, what are your thoughts on the video here? We got this rooftop performance.
I'm loving their jackets, these fur coats. They look so like majestic in their fur coats.
A little bit cool, a little bit chilly, I imagine.
Yeah, and
this is in London, I believe, that they performed today.
Yeah, and it's just cool to see that, like obviously they're these renowned stars, and at this point they're like at, they've already hit the peak of their career and stuff because this was their last public performance. But
see this camera guy?
Yeah, like on the ground.
Like you don't even notice, like you just see the shot, right?
Yeah, but even that, like there's people like walking in front of the camera and stuff. I'm like, what? But they just seem so relaxed, right? Like they're just there and they're making their music, and it's just like it's crazy how it even at this point in their career, like they're still just chilling and having a good time, right? It's also crazy to me, like the sideburn trend at this point in time, like it's a little bit crazy.
They're heavy on the
heavy sideburns.
And you got, like you said, them having a good time. I noticed Paul pretty animated in this, more so
dancing
than I've seen him in a lot of other visuals of the Beatles. He sounds, I don't know if this is maybe him stepping into his own at this point.
Yeah, because he obviously went off on his own after this, right?
There were some issues within the group. So maybe, he's going towards more independence and becoming the Paul that everybody knew and loved. But, that's just speculation on my part. But they all seem to, like you said, are having a great time,
super
enjoying
relaxed,
the performance. And meanwhile, you just have all these people in the background, like staring in awe and watching them on this rooftop. You got the clouds in the background, and even the sound, right? You would think there's no way it's going to translate. The sound's going to translate in a high quality manner. Being on the rooftop with this wind, you see the wind blowing in and everything. Yeah, and like you wouldn't think the microphones would be able to pick up the quality of their voice, but you can really see John giving her on the lead vocal, right? He's really getting in those pockets, so maybe he's using a little more emphasis knowing he's on a rooftop, right? Because you don't have any echo, you don't have any of the acoustics in the room.
Probably a completely different experience to perform in that setting versus like in a room or in a concert venue or something. And I mean, I don't know if have the answer to this, because obviously you haven't seen this before, but if you guys know, like they're videotaping this, but I'm assuming they are performing to like people on the street or an audience, right? Like it's not like they're just like performing to videotape it.
I don't know. It seems pretty exclusive. It seems like there's just people on the rooftop.
Because this kind of reminds me a little bit.
It was for the documentary.
Oh, right? Okay.
That they were filming this. So I think we were reading it's an impromptu concert that they did for the documentary on the rooftop. So I don't think there would have been anybody down low, but you were going to say.
Well, I was just saying because like this is their last public performance, right? So I'm like, well, people would probably want to be watching that, Well,
it was public for these exclusive Apple employees.
What I was going to say though, is it reminds me a little bit of the video that we did that was it U2 where they were performing on the rooftop for the music video, and then they had to get shut down, but like it wasn't intended to be a concert, but people started calling
Where the streets have no name, something.
So I'm curious to know if maybe people were just like, what? The Beatles are on the roof?
Yeah, I don't think anybody knew. But anyways, let's get into it. We'll wrap up with some closing thoughts.
For the first time, don't you know it's gonna last? It's a love that lasts forever. It's a love that has no past. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. she really done me. Ooh, she done me.
George is having a good time too.
Good. I guess nobody ever really done me. Ooh, she done me. She done me good. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down.
I need George's black fur coat.
You need his what?
Black fur coat.
Apple Corpse. These are the ones that keep blocking all our videos. Maybe not. I don't know. But very cool. Everybody seemed like they were having a great time up there.
I agree.
And he saw shots of George, saw shots of Ringo smiling as well.
Yeah, and his raincoat.
Yeah. And so you wouldn't get the vibe that there was any problems in the group at this point.
No. And it's interesting because, I mean, obviously, you know, without having a lot of context to them previously, like I didn't really ever know why they broke up or why they stopped making music together, right? I kind of just assumed like there was a specific reason or like a big like falling out, you know what I mean? But it never seems like publicly there was.
I don't think it was ever really addressed publicly, and nobody really got a concrete answer about it, and that's why there was so much speculation. I think there was speculation it was Yoko Ono that caused a riff in the groove, and it was speculation that George wanted to have more influence on the direction of songwriting and the group as a whole, and maybe get more credit because Paul and John got a lot of the credit.
And I can see that. Like, I mean, especially for a group, right? Like when you form a group, you all grow as artists throughout that process, right? And you're going to have different creative
differences.
Exactly, right? As you become more confident in your ability as an artist, and the more you grow as an artist, like you're going to have things that you're going to lean to that you like or don't like or whatever, right? So it kind of makes sense. I mean, when you think about it, so many groups get together and then disband and want to do their own thing.
Yep. I mean, as people grow, right, and they start to blow up, I think, you know, even look at Paul McCartney, how successful he was on his own, right? He's legendary on his own. Obviously, the Beatles are legendary, but his solo career has been incredible.
Well, they all went on to have a somewhat of a solo career now, like all four of them.
Not nearly as successful as Paul. Sure. Paul is like far and away, more successful. I mean, they've had all successful careers. Don't get me wrong, but Paul is like, just I think looked upon as a songwriter, as a musician, as the hits that have come out post Beatles as the one that was the most successful on his own. And
like the Beyonce of the group.
Huh?
I said like the Beyonce of the group.
Yeah, you're going to get slaughtered in the comments for that. So, I think it's just, highlighting that there's going to be individuals in the group that probably feel like they can go and do that, but all of them probably feel that way, but there's going to be certain members in the group that definitely can go and do that, right?
Yeah, and I didn't mean to compare them. I just meant he was obviously the most popular publicly by everybody else.
You can name it a whole bunch of other ones, Justin Timberlake and
I just mean there's always one in the group that like makes it big, right?
Yeah, there's somebody that stands out, right? And so the point is you're going to feel like that inside the group probably already. Like Paul at this time may have been thinking, like I said, I feel like I can go out and do my own thing and be creative and go through this creative process. I want to do something differently than the group is, but maybe George wants something else and John wants something else.
Yeah.
But anyways, I come back to the biggest point though. It's all speculation, right? We have no idea what actually transpired.
Yeah, no, for
behind
sure.
closed doors.
Especially if they didn't come out and talk about it much.
I think I saw an interview last year maybe about Paul talking about it a little bit, and he gave a little more insight into things that nobody had ever heard before, and this is when he's like 80 years old. So it's so far removed, right? And I think that's probably because they have a lot of respect and there's still a lot of friendship there that they didn't want to throw each other under the bus. Right? It was just like, and then the speculation runs rampant about, why it happened, and everybody adds their own 2 cents, and then, people run with it. So we'll never know, I don't think, the true extent of why things happened. And it's unfortunate because obviously they were so legendary.
Yeah. And I'm sure people probably also would have liked to know what would have happened with, John's career as well if he hadn't died so young as well.
Yeah. And you guys will probably correct me on some of the stuff that I just talked about, because I'm definitely not an expert on the Beatles, nowhere near what you guys probably are. Even my dad, if he watches this video, he's probably chiming in with something and saying, well, actually this happened. So, you guys can let me know down below any insights. I appreciate learning. Sam appreciates learning as well. So we wouldn't be where we are in terms of knowledge base today. You may think we don't know anything, but if you went back 2 years ago and checked out our videos, you'd be like, yeah, these guys were definitely living.
They've come a long way.
Under a rock. They were the fungus under the rock, and now we've sprouted into full-blown trees, but we're not full-grown yet. Full-blown trees, not full-grown. Yeah, you got it. Anyways. Hopefully you're having a great day today, guys. Make sure you hit the like button before you go. Come back tomorrow. We'll drop 2 more videos. Hopefully we see you then.
Thanks for watching, guys.